Sonic doesn't exactly have the best reputation, you know? Almost all of his games since the original Genesis trilogy are less than good. There was a bright spot there around the time Sonic Colors and Generations came out, but then Sonic Lost World and Sonic Boom had to go and ruin that. I mean, when was the last time you went back and played Sonic Adventure 1 or 2? They don't hold up. Your rose-tinted nostalgia has failed you. Will never be Christmas again. Of course, the obvious nadir of Sega's Blue Blur would probably be the 2006 reboot that's not actually a reboot.
But Mitch, I'm sure you're asking. There can't possibly be a worse Sonic game than Sonic 2006, right? It's Sonic Schoolhouse. Roll the fucking clip.
Yep. This is a real game. This isn't some sort of mass hallucination you're all having. This was a real game that they sold for real money, and I really owned this as a kid. It was brought to us by the good people over at BAP Interactive, and if you recognize that logo, you probably watched a lot of Spoonie back in the day, because those are the same people responsible for Bloodwing's Pumpkinhead's Revenge. And surprise, surprise, it plays just like that game too. It's a shitty 3D first-person adventure where the game plays out in a tiny little window with way too much shit around it. But we'll get to that. Let's boot this baby up. Alright, I'm already having problems with this. So, that music was the bonus stage music from Sonic 3. You know, the one where you have Sonic bounce between the walls to hit a giant gumball machine up top to drop bonuses. Except the quality of the music itself is really poor. It sounds like they just went into sound test and recorded it off of their TV or something. Like, this is an official Sega product, right? You couldn't get them to just give you the high-quality music file or something? I know the Genesis's sound chip isn't that great, but I don't remember all the music in Sonic 3 sounding like it was being played from the bottom of a swimming pool filled with Vaseline.
I'm Sonic. Click on me for help.
Holy shit, is that you, Jaleel White? Did they get you to inhale helium like when you very clearly voiced the girl hedgehog in Sonic Underground or something? I mean, Sonic has had no shortage of voices over the years, but that might actually be the most inappropriate one I've ever heard. And I've seen the Sonic OVA.
You might know everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you, since I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?
So I guess we'll take Sonic up on his offer and click on him.
Hi there. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. You're going to play in my schoolhouse.
Well, aren't we confident in ourselves?
There's a little box where you can choose your own name. If you're not sure how to do it, ask a grown-up. That's what they're for.
So I guess it's time for us to pick a character. Look at all these recognizable Sonic characters, like, that kind of looks like Vector the Crocodile. I know Sonic the Fighter's had a polar bear character. Wait, is that fucking Diddy Kong? So when you choose your character, it plays a horrifying animation with accompanying sound effect that will etch itself onto your immortal soul. Okay, I don't know what sound bunnies make normally, but that laugh is not it. That's the sound a midget dressed up like a monster clown makes when he comes out of your closet at night to bat your kneecaps. Okay, that's an instance in which you don't want to use the realistic sound the animal would make. Okay, fuck it. Let's just go with the pig. Yeah. So, now we're finally inside Sonic's schoolhouse itself. Sonic runs around the place aimlessly, so I guess we should just pick a classroom and...
Get ready for...
Anyway, what is classic like in Sonic's schoolhouse? Like this. Yep. This is what learning looks like. So the idea is that you go to these blackboards with incomplete questions on them, and then you go to physically find the number or letter or whatever answer, and then toss it at the board. So in this instance, we've taken something that's already tedious, namely math homework, and made it somehow more tedious by having you hunt down the answer in a 3D space. Answering a board correctly opens the door next to it, which leads you to... more questions. Wow, what a perfect metaphor for the existence of this game. Anyway, if you answer the questions in these secondary rooms, they lead you to prize rooms, which hold one of three kinds of goodies for you. You have recess passes, which allow you to play minigames in the schoolyard, field trip passes, which allow you to take the bus on a field trip, and lastly, a key which can open one of the locked doors. So, just like in the American educational system, one of your rewards is simply cheating. What was that good social commentary? Sounded smart. Since there's this really small main room and you might not find the answer you need here, there's this large back room which holds many answers you can... What the fuck? Anyway, you can come back here to find many more answers and... Ah! Oh god, it's Robotnik and his crotch has fangs! Stay away, foul demon incarnation of Teddy Roosevelt!
Dr. Robotnik stole your answer.
What, that's it? He's sitting in that giant literal gut grinder and all he does is inconvenience me? Also, look, Sonic, I think this school thing you're doing is noble, trying to balance out all the retardation caused by playing Sonic and the Black Knight, but what would possess you to allow your evil arch nemesis to just dick around in here? I mean, I'm supposed to be an animal, correct? You no doubt know what he does to animals, right? If I end up in a capsule somewhere because of this, I will sue the fuck out of you when you inevitably get me out. So Robotnik can steal your answers, but he never leaves that big back area, so you can just grab another answer if you manage to find it. If you pick the wrong answer, you can swap it out by just clicking another one, or you can recycle it.
You recycled. That's great.
No, that is not a Tubers and Zots creation, that's a recycling bin. It's definitely a weird element to have in an educational game, but then again, this was the 90s when green tree frogs were on every fucking thing. And I guess Sonic is the environmental type, considering he constantly tries to rescue picturesque nature from a fat bald man and his encroaching industrialization. Granted, he's not as hardcore into recycling as, say, Awesome Possum, which ironically was also a Sonic ripoff.
I'm awesome!
If your patience manages to last long enough to get all 10 questions right, you can head back to the exit and collect your rewards. Gumballs. Yes, nearly every single thing you do in this game gives you gumballs. What do these gumballs do? Well, back on the main menu, you might have noticed a little gumball machine. These gumballs eventually fill the machine, and you can look at them. That's it. Oh, but don't worry, you can click the printer up top to waste all the ink in your parents' bubble jet printer to print out a picture of the gumball machine. So hopefully the knowledge you've gained from all the activities you do in this game is a substantial enough reward, because fake digital candy will not fill the void in your soul. So that's more or less all I can say about the main mode of the game. You pick a classroom, go in there and solve problems to get recess and field trip passes, and gumballs. You do that over and over again in the 4 subjects included in the game: math, reading, spelling, and math. I guess math was just too important to Sonic to include, say, a history classroom or a science classroom. So let's take a break from all this dumb learning and have some fun out in the schoolyard. There are 2 recess games you can play. The first is Match the Statues, and it's your basic memory match game. You walk around these question marks and click them to reveal statues and try to find the matching statue in the yard. Now, I personally find memory match games tedious already because it's basically just trial and error mixed with rote memorization. But again, because of the format of the game, now you also have to deal with remembering which question mark is which in 3D space. Oh well, there's Sonic characters in this mode, unlike, well, most of this game. The second game is a game where you collect rings.
Get ready for a Sonic adventure.
You know, Sonic, I kinda wish I was playing that game right now. And that game is practically being held together by Scotch tape. So the idea is to grab rings and— oh god, not again! Now there's more of them? Ah! Hold on, what the hell was that sound? So, wait, I thought I was supposed to be a kid. Moreover, a kid animal. So why is it that when I get hit, it makes the sound of an adult man making a cartoon Three Stooges slapstick noise? And again, why is it that Sonic's fucked up idea of fun is throwing me, a defenseless kid, into a fenced-in area with a diabolical villain and his robot minions? This is also as good a time as any to mention how janky the controls are in this game. Your character accelerates really fast, so holding a direction causes you to shoot across whatever area you're in, but you turn more slowly than you'd think. Because of this, it's very difficult to steer yourself through doorways or even in front of the answer you're trying to get. Like, I get that this is technically a Sonic game, but moving around so fast in a game like this tends to be extremely disorienting. Granted, I know that games like Doom had fast 3D movement, but those games ran smoothly, where this game, even running at its best, is still choppy and weird. Well, instead of having Sonic throw us to the wolves, so to speak, let's go on a field trip. Maybe we'll get to explore Green Hill Zone or Casinopolis or something. Oh. Time to ride the jank bus. So after Sonic drives this massive school bus around the neighborhood at Benny Hill speeds, we're told to click on an animal friend on the bus in order to find out more about them. So fuck it, let's go with the polar bear.
Different kinds of bears live all over the world.
Okay, so this is the part where we watch a bunch of hilariously narrated public domain animal clips explaining how these animals live, I guess. Okay, that's fine. I guess it makes sense to merge biology and geography into this activity. I mean, we have 2 math and 2 English classrooms in the schools, so They had to put those subjects somewhere, right? Oh, and it's not like you only get to watch one video clip per bus pass. You can just go wild and watch as many as you want in one trip. Good thing they gave us 2 slots for field trip passes. I mean, this game sounds like a joke, but it's totally real. There wasn't a lot going on for Sonic back in 1997, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised that they stuffed him into an edutainment game. And I kind of mean that literally. I don't think this was originally supposed to be a Sonic game. I mean, think about it. None of the selectable characters are Sonic characters at all. The sprites of Sonic himself running around are actually taken from the cancelled Sega Saturn game Sonic Extreme, which infamously almost killed some of its programmers who were working on it near continuously to finish it before the deadline before it got cancelled. So, sorry guys, but this game is kind of the only remains of your legacy. But the most incriminating evidence that this was never meant to be a Sonic game comes from digging around the files on the CD, where you can find movie files of a clock character saying much of Sonic's dialogue in a different voice.
Click on me for help!
The 3D graphics were competent for the time, but better stuff had already been done, like Doom. Hell, I think that 3D Maze screensaver looked better. And the other graphics aren't great. All the numbers and letters look blazed as fuck, the school bus looks embarrassing, and the font used throughout the game looks like Comic Sans' retarded cousin. Oh, and all the menus look like someone just went into MS Paint and did this. And yes, the voice acting is god-awful, but digging through the files on the CD reveals that they're all on there in WAV format, so I can do stuff like this.
Hey Sonic, how you doing? I heard they got done with the testing. Do you have the diagnosis? Is it AIDS?
Good try, but the correct answer is HIV.
Oh. I mean, did they tell you how many years you have left to live?
0.
Oh, how many months?
7.
That's devastating news. I'm sorry, I don't want to try and I hope I'm not hurting your feelings here.
You are.
Probably the funniest thing about this game too is that when you exit to desktop as the credits are rolling, Sonic literally apologizes for the experience you just had, and then begs you to come back.
Sorry you're leaving. You're gonna come back soon, right?
Sonic Schoolhouse is kind of a fun novelty, but at the end of the day, I'd much rather just watch a compilation of Sonic Says clips from the original cartoon. Because, honestly, those are funnier.
But if someone tries to touch you in a place or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's
Strange, isn't it?
What's up guys, Junk Food King here. Thank you so much for checking out this review. I hope you had just as much fun watching it as I did making it. If you like what you see, consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/junkfoodking. That's the best way for you to help me out. And big thanks to Sean and Justin S., my patrons. You guys are fucking rad. And of course, comments and criticisms are welcome below, and there's that other jazz, like, subscribe, and share. There's a couple more videos by me below, and a video of me and my co-host from the Random Assault podcast, Let's Playing the Doritos Loco Taco. Seriously. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you guys later.